Here's what you can look forward to on this episode of The Nice Guys on Business.
Okay, well, that's the old salesman joke, isn't it? Doug, the guy says, how's your business? Says, hey, I'm busy. Say, yeah, me too. I'm not selling anything. we confuse activity with accomplishment. And I've made a personal goal last year to get out of some of the networking events I was going to, because you just get in the habit of it. You're seeing the same people, and you're not really growing that way.
Right.
And great people, we're still all friends, but you got to spend your time where it should go.
So do you have an iPhone or do you have something inferior?
No, of course I've got an iPhone. I wouldn't have anything but an iPhone. Here's the thought I would have anything different.
Oh, Toto, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Well, except maybe the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, Nice Guy community, welcome back. It is Friday. Yeah, my name's Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. You know, Doug was talking on Wednesday about like hyping up the energy as the week goes on. And I'm thinking to myself, God, how can we hype it up even more as the week goes on? We're so hyped up already.
You started a little bit slow. I was like, you had to get cranking. It was almost like you were an old time vehicle that had to just kind of, your fuel injection wasn't working. Well, if it's an old vehicle, it wouldn't be fuel injection. I guess it would just be a carburetor.
Yeah,
right?
Like a diesel engine. It takes time to warm me up, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, who's our guest today? Is it Fred Miller today on the show?
It is Fred Miller, Mr. Elevator Speech himself.
No sweat elevator speech. Fred is a really cool guy. I met Fred through LinkedIn, and he was just kind of everywhere on LinkedIn. I kept seeing his messages. I kept seeing his posts. I kept seeing his videos. And I thought, I got to reach out to this guy because he seems like a really cool guy. And then as I started to talk to him, this is just through messaging, I discovered that he really has a practical action tip that we probably don't know enough of. And it is just that. It is how to put together an elevator speech. If you think that elevator speeches are easy to put together, well, they are kind of simple, but they are not easy. I mean, it's just one of those things that we all know that we need to do, but we don't do. And he's got this very easy template that he's going to share with the Nice Guy community, and he'll tell you in the interview how to get to it. But Fred Miller, no sweat elevator speech. He does his job, and he really does come through and shows us some practical tips in how to get your message out through this elevator speech process.
Yeah, and his company's website is nosweatpublicspeaking.com. So he's a lot more than just, hey, the 30-second elevator speech. Really, he's all about how to present yourself, how to be a better public speaker, how to communicate better. I mean, it's great stuff.
Yeah, and if you think that even just elevator speed, it's like, nah, I'm not going to listen to this. It's just not my thing. I'm telling you, just check it out. You've got to listen for a few minutes. If you don't get something out of the first 5 minutes of it, well, you're going to get something out of the first 5 minutes because that's just Strick and I shooting the shit. But if you don't think that you're going to get something out of it, let me know. As a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deliver to you the promise statement, which is right here. The promise statement is to provide a learning experience. I'm frantically searching for the promise statement.
That was a really nice segue, though. That was good.
Thank you. To provide a learning experience that is entertaining and adds value to your life. This is the show that is going to do that. I feel like of all the shows that we've done, how many episodes? What episode number is this? Any clue? 300 and what?
315 maybe? 318,
something like that. Wow, in the three teens. I feel as of all the episodes we have ever done, and that's a lot of them, 300 and some, this one is actually practical information that you can start using today, more so than any episode that we have done. What do you think about that, Strick? Is that really, that's going out there, isn't it?
That's a high bar to set. I mean, we have a lot of episodes that I think we've gotten a lot of good information on. So, okay, Doug, I'm going to go with it.
I'm telling you, this one, when I got off Skype with him, I thought, holy shit! This was a moving episode. This is not one that is emotionally charged. I mean, it certainly is great. He's a great guy and he's a funny guy, but it is not a overcoming adversity to triumph. It is a let me show you how to do some shit right now. And this is it. This is it. He really does share. And there's a interesting epiphany that he reaches in the middle, around halfway through the interview, that you could knock him over with a feather, and you'll hear that coming up. Now, this is a great episode. I'm telling you, check it out.
All right, Funkin' Fan. So if you only listen to one podcast episode this year, it should probably be Gary Vaynerchuk. But if you're going to listen to two, the second one you listen to should be this episode with Fred Miller.
Oh no, I would say from a practical perspective, this probably even exceeds the Gary Vaynerchuk interview. Okay.
Damn, that's saying a lot. I guess I actually have to listen to this because I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, you got to. And we'll talk. Yeah, write that as a note. Can we add this to the topics that we're going to talk about on Thursday's show?
Wait, it's Friday. Talked about yesterday.
That's right.
What? Yeah, sure, Doug. What is that thing that we talked about yesterday?
Yeah, remember?
No, what is it? I'm going to write it down to make sure that we do talk about it yesterday. For those of you who are completely unsure of what we're talking about, Doug and I actually record all of our intros for the interviews first thing when we do our recording. And then we record our Tuesday show, and then we record our Thursday show. We do it all at once, all on one night during the week. So when we're doing our intros, we haven't actually recorded the show that you heard yesterday yet. So that's why I'm asking him to clarify what it is that we should be talking about yesterday that you probably already heard. But if I don't write it down, we'll forget to talk about it in about an hour and a half, which you heard yesterday.
I don't even remember what it was anymore, but let's just get to the interview with Fred Miller, the Nice Guys on Business. We are here. We are affiliated. We are loving our partnership with the C-Suite Radio Network. So let's get to our interview right now. Fred Miller, the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Let's do it. We all know how important our elevator speech is, and yet, and I'm guilty of it, most of us don't have it down. Today's guest, Fred Miller, gets us at one point. I know he is here to help you too. Talking about the ins and outs of networking, building your elevator speech, and doing his thing one floor at a time. Welcome to the Nice Guys on Business podcast, Fred.
I'm here, Doug. Thanks for having me.
I lost you. I lost you already. I was so quick. We were doing so well technically. So, Fred, you know, and I've had a couple of interviews today, and you're actually the only one that showed up on time. That you know precisely what you do. You know how you do it. Is that all a part of being a good elevator speech guy? Is just being prepared and ready to roll when the
No, it's having made tons of mistakes before. You know, I had it wrong before, and I think we learn more from our mistakes. You know, if you get it right the first time, you don't give it a second thought. And I keep making mistakes. That's how you learn, though.
Yeah, and very humbling as well. Fred, you're really everywhere. I mean, your brand is good. Your presence is professional. I know that you've done all that on purpose and by design. How did you get to be known as the elevator speech guy? Because I see people refer to you all the time on LinkedIn as, hey, that's that elevator speech guy.
Yeah, it's always the backstory. My first book was No Sweat Public Speaking, and I was in a networking group. And the leader came to me one day and said, hey, Fred, you know, you're our public speaking guru. How about a presentation next month to the group on how to develop a great elevator speech? And I thought, oh, shit, mine stinks. I can't believe that. Yeah, I struggle with mine like everyone else does. But I knew it was something I had to come up with. I needed a good one myself, and people asked me about it. I had no idea, Doug, where I was going to begin. But the next day, I was in my Sandler sales course, and we had a new student. And as always happens, the instructor said, hey, we got a newbie today. Before we get started, let's go around the room. When it's your turn, stand up, tell them who you are, what you do, give them your elevator speech. Well, mine stunk, and most of the people in the room had terrible ones also. But Roy, sitting right next to me, had one phrase that was so great. And there were probably 15 of us in the room. Every one of us grabbed a pen and wrote it down. And it was that phrase that got me started working on the elevator speech. And I built a template, and we're going to offer it to people free. I built it on 2 words.
Yeah.
Elevator, build it by the floor. Everyone doesn't need to go to the top floor with you. You don't want to take everyone there. And speech. My mantra is speaking opportunities are business, career, and leadership opportunities. An elevator speech is a mini speaking opportunity.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I mean, Fred, you've really broken it down into like this major practical, easy to understand, easy to digest. I really never got it. I really never did. I just kept thinking, it's this canned thing, and I have a whole bunch of questions that I want to find out, but I just want to talk just for a second about the creation of this. You can create so much opportunity for yourself if you just have your elevator speech down, and it just sounds so hokey on one hand, like, oh shit, I don't want to have to come up with this canned, impersonal thing. I mean, you probably hear it all the time. I'm no good with people.
That's how most of them are.
Right, exactly. So how do you make something that, I mean, I'm assuming you have to spend a lot of time on it. You have to really focus on what those words are.
Yeah, well, just like sports, just like speaking, just like writing.
Right.
You got to do it. Well, let me give you, first I'm going to give you the 8 floors because it makes sense and you don't have to use them all. So I'm from a big group. My turn to stand up and I say, I'm Fred Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and an author. The title of my first book is No Sweat Public Speaking. Businesses, individuals, and organizations hire me because, and hire me, Doug, that was the phrase my friend used, hire me because they want to improve their networking, public speaking, and presentation skills. They do that because they know speaking opportunities are business, career, and leadership opportunities. And they also know that we perceive really good speakers as experts. We like to work with experts. I show them how to develop, practice, and deliver a knock your socks off presentation with no sweat. Now that's all 8 floors, and that's the one that I would give in front of a large group, and that's the opportunity a lot of people have. However, there are times when you have to do a one-on-one. Let me back up a bit. Because the goal of the elevator speech is clarity. You want everyone to know exactly what you do. So I can, if I'm in the audience and I hear you speaking, Doug, I can say, I got to talk to Doug. In fact, if he doesn't stop talking right now, I'm going to grab him off the stage. Mm-hmm. Or I don't need what he does now, but I might in the future. And I'd be very comfortable talking to him. And thirdly, now my radar is up. And if anybody mentions what Doug offers, I'm going to refer them. And they're both going to thank me. But the added goal in the one-on-one is that you want to disqualify. Everyone's not a prospect for what you offer. You're not going to buy everything offered to you. And then let me give an example because I think it's important. I was at a chamber event, and the instructions were, as they often are, program starts at noon, arrive early, and network. And a lady was selling replacement windows for older homes. I was very familiar with the product. Excuse me, great product, great company. She had a good elevator speech, but she's given that to each individual she meets. And there were people that were renting apartments, renting homes, new homes that didn't need windows.
Maybe she was just practicing a lot, Fred.
Well, she was wasting their time.
Yeah.
And the prospect's time. So in the one-on-one, you want to have something that will disqualify also. So here's where it comes from. If we're meeting one-on-one before an event and you say, hey, Fred, what do you do? We both have name tags on. I say, hey, Doug, thanks for asking. I'm going to answer your question by asking you one. Have you ever been in the audience and you're watching and listening to a speaker and you're thinking to yourself, boy, this guy's good. I mean, he is really good. He's articulate, authentic, very entertaining. Obviously, he's got passion for what he's doing. And I'm really getting a lot out of this presentation. Man, I wish I could do that. I'm the guy they hire to develop, practice, and deliver presentations like that. It's that word hire me, because most people, Doug, say, I work with companies. I help people. When you say hire me, what you're saying is,
hire me.
I'm really good at this. Yeah, I'm good at this. I'm proud of it. And you know what? There's some jack connected to it. I don't do it for free. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. And I love that you said that, because as I'm thinking about some of the things that I say to people when somebody asks me what I do, I don't use that word hire. And I always say things like I work with companies that, I know. Hey, let me go back. Okay, go ahead.
No,
you talk. You're the guest.
I'm going to listen. If somebody's uncomfortable with hire me, and I had a lady once in the audience says, hey, you got a little attitude with that hire me, don't you, friend? And I said, well, yeah, it's a good attitude. You want to work with a wimp who doesn't believe in what he's doing? I said, but if you're not comfortable with it, don't use it. A physician might say, become my patients. Somebody might say, become my clients. Someone might say, engage my services, write us checks, put us on our payroll. But please, let's get away from that work for and help people. Now, the other important word is because. because is an influencer word. And if you think about it, Doug, when you were young and you'd say, Mom, why do I have to? Because I said so. Because it's the right thing to do. So businesses, individuals, and organizations hire me because.
I'm writing down those two spots: hire me and because. Those are really good action words. Those are really good transitional words that mean stuff. That take out all the wimp and wishy-washy crap out of out of what I say.
And if they disqualify someone, that's good. Disqualifying is a good thing. Let's not waste major time on minor possibilities. And if I'm talking, I've given you that much of it. The next thing I say is all the people who hire me know speaking opportunities are business, career, and leadership opportunities. You probably don't know anyone who wants to improve their public speaking and presentation skills, do you?
He's pulling a lot of Sandler crap on me right now.
That's right. Yeah, but it's good. Now, are you related to the late Dave Sandler, Doug?
Only that he was my dad.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
Are you? No kidding me? You're kidding me?
No, I'm 100% serious.
Oh my gosh! I wish I'd had his course. Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
If you go back and listen to the tapes, there was a kid named Dougie in the tapes. I am Dougie.
Oh my gosh! That is. You talk about your small world.
I was listening to you. You dropped the S word. You dropped the Sandler word about 10 minutes ago, and I said
yes.
I said, I wonder if Fred knows the connection. And I said, I don't think.
No, I don't.
I don't think he does, which is fine with me.
Oh.
I'm happy. I'm happy that you don't know the connection.
But that's phenomenal. Well, that's why you're successful. You've got it in your DNA. It's nothing you did.
Wait a minute. You got a bell on that one. It's nothing I did. It's genetic. It's exactly right.
Well, you're serious about that. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm 100% serious. What's so great about everything that you said is I'm listening to you and you're using the system. And Nice Guy Community, you don't know the Sandler system if you don't know some of the words that Fred was using. But definitely there was the wimps word. There was the asking questions. There was a whole bunch of reversing. There was a lot of strip lining.
Instead of saying. Yeah, strip line instead. Do you know anyone who wants to improve? And said, you don't know anybody who wants to improve that. Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
I love it. We have so much to talk about that's beyond the speaking thing. I want to give you the fair time on the show, and we're going to continue the conversation, and we'll even continue it on. Maybe we'll even have you on one of our Tuesday and Thursday shows, Fred, which is the just me and Strick just shooting the shit and talking about everything and nothing. And it's always interesting to have professionals that come on that, because it's a total shit show, those Tuesdays and Thursday shows. The Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, that's actually where we actually become legitimate, and that's what's built all of our credibility. But people want to hear the real us. Wait a minute, we'll get back to Sandler in a second, but help our community for a second. All right, Fred. So you've got some great nuggets of information. Help share one action item, something that our Nice Guy community can do today to start improving what they are doing regarding either making a presentation, making an elevator speech. What is something that they can do starting today that's different than what they've been doing?
Well, say hire me instead of work with and help. That's a good start. Now, if they want, I've got a free template on this. And if you go to No Sweat Public Speaking /go/ free elevator speech template.
Nobody has to remember that, Fred. All you have to do is just send it to me, and I'm going to put it in the show notes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll put that right in the show notes. A Nice Guy Community, just go over to the show notes. You're going to click on the link, and the link is all of that stuff that Fred just said, but it's just going to say whatever, No Sweat Elevator Speech, or whatever we title it. It'll say Fred stuff, and it'll be right there. So we're going to teach them how to use the words like because and hire me.
Yes, yeah, those are kind of the essence. And then, that being able to have that template in place so you can skip floors. We can start on one floor and go down. Another example might be I stand up and I say, who believes, and raise your hand when you do this, who believes speaking opportunities are business, career, and leadership opportunities? Everybody's hand goes up because I raise mine.
Right.
And I say, I'm Fred Miller. I speak, coach, and write about networking, public speaking, and presentation skills. Because the bottom line is clarity. You want them to get it.
Right.
And here again, so they want to hire you now or in the future, and so they want to refer you.
Yeah, Fred, you on your website, I mean, it's what's amazing is that you have so many of these little quick audio clips. I mean, they're right on your website, and I love some of your quotes. One of them is, "You don't want to spend major time working on minor possibilities," and that's such a huge statement right there. So talk about that for a second.
Okay, well, that's the old salesman joke, isn't it? Doug, the guy says, how's your business? Says, hey, I'm busy, busy, busy. Say, yeah, me too. I'm not selling anything. we confuse activity with accomplishment. And I've made a personal goal last year to get out of some of the networking events I was going to, because you just get in the habit of it. You're seeing the same people, and you're not really growing that way.
Right, right.
And great people, we're still all friends, but you got to spend your time where it should go.
So, Fred, talk to me about some of the mistakes that are fairly commonplace, not just in the elevator speech, but just in the business world alone. Are people not asking for the business? Are they being too wimpy? Are they not getting commitments? You know, we all take those maybes. Yes, and yes. And we all love those maybes. You know, yes, no. I love a no. I love a yes also, but don't give me that shitty
exactly.
maybe.
Well, I think you're right. And a definite maybe is even worse.
Yeah.
I've had some of those. But one of the things I think everyone has to realize these days, and you and a lot of your listeners know this, we're all self-employed, you know, whether you're on somebody's payroll or not. And you want to be seen as an expert. And to do that, you want to build an expert stool. And it's 3 legs: speaking, writing on and offline, and then promoting all that through the internet with media and the print media too. Because if you send somebody a proposal for doing a workshop or speaking, or if you're applying for a job, and they get back to you and say, Doug, man, that really looks good. I like that proposal. Look at your personal website. Boy, you got a lot of good stuff there. How do I find out more about you? And if you built this expert stool, and it's a process, not an event, you can say, Google me. What you're saying is, hey, don't take my word for it, man. Check me out.
Right.
And the learning is in the doing. As you build that expert stool, I mean, I got to tell you, I had an interview with a guy today. He found me by Googling public speaking coach, St. Louis. And he's hired me. We're going to start some workshops, coach the president of the company. And that was it. It was because he said, let me tell you the story, how I found you. And it's all about the stories. I mean, the story of Dave Sandler being your dad, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, what's great about what you're saying, and I present this as a part of my every speech that I do. I said, before we actually get started with our program, everybody take out your phone. And the guys that are in charge of the conference hate when I tell people to do that, because once they take their phone out, it never goes back in their pocket again. I tell them, just go ahead, Google yourself. Just Google yourself. What comes up? And I say, you want to own that first page. You want to own every entry on that first page, every link on that first page. And if you don't, other than, you know, I had one lady say, everybody that's on this page is a porn star. Says, you do not own that page. Then you've got to build your brand to the nth degree, and you've got to own that page. You know, as my dad always used to say, you want to be the out of town expert with a briefcase. You want to be the reason why people are bringing you in. And if you're not that reason, then you got to figure out how to get that. And I love your stool analogy too. You've got to speak it, and you've got to really own it. You've got to own it yourself.
You got to promote it on the social media, and also do the thing that you and I have both done, Doug. Write a book.
Yeah. I
mean, the perception of somebody who's written a book from those who haven't, it's like, oh my gosh.
I agree.
This guy's an expert.
I know. And what's incredible about what you're saying is that I don't feel any more of an expert than before I wrote the book. But that's not, it doesn't matter what I think. It's what the public
perception is reality.
Right? Perception is the reality. Fred, for one quick moment, we have this round of rapid fire Q&A. I want you to take off your elevator speech hat for a second and put on your entrepreneur hat, because this next series of 5 questions, I just want to ask them. They're very quick. So I'm going to give you the question or ask you the question and spend 5-10 seconds answering the question to the best of your ability with whatever is the first thing that comes into your head. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, cool.
All right, here we go. So
no sweat.
That's right, no sweat. Fred, be relatable. What do you suck at?
Oh, detail. I'm ready, fire, aim. I can't put an email address in correctly. When I talk to engineers and accountants and architects, I tell them I admire them. I say, I can't do your guys' stuff. That's the truth.
Good. Be transparent. How did you pay your bills when you first got going?
Well, this is kind of my last career, and I started my book, I was thinking about 20 years ago. I was in Toastmasters, and it wasn't until I had a few businesses. I used to be in the coffee business. I worked for Procter & Gamble. I had a sales lead company, and basically I saved for this, but I got to tell you, Doug, my best years are ahead of me. No doubt about it.
No, I agree.
No doubt about it.
I feel the same way as reinventing at 47. I feel the same way when, several years ago.
I'm 68. Yeah, no, I'm serious about that. I say that on purpose because I've met people your age and even younger who think, they've had some setbacks. They think the end of the world. I go, no, absolutely not.
They're coming. Your best years are coming. All right, Fred, third question. Be confident. What do you do as an entrepreneur that's as good as it gets?
I get it. I get it. And very few people get it, Doug. You get it. You thank people. You see an article that somebody would have an interest in, and you send it to them. The guy's finished speaking, even if he was crap, you go up and you thank him for his crap spill. You thank him for the effort.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Still his time.
Your competition in life, in anything you do, has set the bar low. Very, very low. It takes so little to stand out from anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to some of these other podcasts, they're talking about handwritten notes, stuff like that. I mean, seriously, to stand out from someone else, it's nothing.
It truly is.
You give away stuff free. It's phenomenal.
Fred, be humble. What experts do you need to call upon to make shit happen when shit's not happening for you?
Well, I joined a bunch of meetup groups years ago, and that's where I met the gal who I hired to be my book shepherd and basically kick me in the ass and get me to finish my book and do it correctly. That was important. I also met a young fella in her book class, book writing meetup, who was good at the internet. And his words still ring true to me because I'm blogging maybe once or twice a week, once or twice a month. And I also put the audio post in there. And a quick tip, audio posts plus written posts will make you a better writer and a better speaker. Nice. It's huge. And then it goes in that podcast channel. Yeah.
I agree. I sent over 4 words on your Skype channel, but I'll read the 4 words to you. I want you to put these in priority order. This is the toughest of the 5 questions, and then I have 2 personal questions, and then we will wrap up our interview. So here comes the last question. It is as a business owner and an entrepreneur, put these words into priority order. Here they come: employees, customers, products, systems.
Okay, good. Products was first because I had to get the book written, and because I have to have something to sell. And I got the book written, but at the same time, because of the book shepherd I hired, she said you need a platform. And that's when I got my first website and started blogging regularly. So that was a system. So product systems, and then get customers, and I'm my only employee.
That solopreneur world.
Yeah,
what's so great
nobody
about
would hire me.
No right answer, no wrong answer. Just a really interesting answer, though, because a lot of people do put customers and employees first, and they actually put products and systems last. But again, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. There's just I'm trying to validate how people are, how people prioritize those things. Fred,
I felt that I needed the credibility of a book, and I think that was it. Now, maybe it was head trash, to use another Sandler term, but I needed that book for people to know I was an expert. And I think that's why I did in that order.
Well, and that's okay. And I think that as long as that makes you feel comfortable, then that's the thing that helps you. Some people don't. Yeah. Some people don't want the book. They think a white paper is plenty. Some people don't even blog. Some people don't have a podcast. Many people go just different directions for different things.
And they can be very successful.
So a question for you, Fred. Personal side, do you have an iPhone or do you have something inferior?
No, of course I've got an iPhone. I wouldn't have anything but an iPhone. Perish the thought I would have anything different.
All right, hold on a second. I'm not going to say a word. If you could just repeat something similar to that so we can actually use that as the lead into the interview. So, Fred, do you have an iPhone or do you have something inferior?
I wouldn't consider anything else. I mean, my gosh, if there's only one phone. I mean, I bleed Apple. Never ask a guy who uses Mac products what to get, right? I mean, we're apostles for their product. And nobody ever bought an Apple on price. And that's something we should all remember, that, you sell you sell value, to the Sandler system.
I love it. So, Fred, do you have your iPhone anywhere near you?
Got right here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So go to your photo app. Tell me what is the last thing you took a picture of.
You know what? I got a new grandson, 4 months old.
Yeah.
And we were babysitting the other day. He's in one of those little things you bounce in, and he's playing with the stuff. Wonderful picture. Yeah.
That is great. And can you tell me the last text message that is on your phone, either sent or received? Oh, wait a minute. It's probably the one I sent you.
No, but I know what you mean. No, actually, my daughter says, "Hey, I got an appointment tomorrow. Would you mind watching Avi?" And we said, absolutely. In fact, next time we're going to skip kids, go right to the grandkids.
I love it. I love it. So, Fred, if our nice guy community wanted to get in touch with you, what is the best way for them to do that?
NoSweatPublicSpeaking.com. Look at that site. All kinds of contact information, all kinds of freebies. What you see is what you get.
Excellent. We'll make sure that we put the links to that and to Fred's freebie. What was it called again? The you don't have to give me
free elevator speech template and worksheet. So you develop your own. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have to send me that link, and we'll throw it in the show notes for you as well. I think I have. Let's see. I think I have some of this. Yeah, I do have NoSweatPublicSpeaking.com, but it might not be the direct link to that actual piece. We'll get that. Fred Miller, thank you so much for being a part of the Nice Guy community, and thank you so much for your time on the show today.
Thank you, Doug. This is another one of those small world stories. That's incredible.
Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to Fred Miller for being a part of the show. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Fill up your week with the Nice Guys. Haven't they run out of people willing to talk to them yet?